Unless you're deaf, sound is one of the most essential parts of performance in theater. Like in films, sound can be used to portray a feeling or as an indicator something's about to happen. Starting around 5th century BCE, this cool Greek guy named Alexander the Great is believed to have constructed the original ancient Greek theater, but we really don't know. Anyways, these anonymous Greek guys built the theater to have some pretty nice acoustics, allowing people in the back to hear literally everything. The Greeks also used very basic materials to make sound effects, one of them being the thunder machine, which was a simple machine where brass balls would drop into dried hides arranged like a kettle drum, and wind machine with fabric draped over a rotating wheel. Simple. But other than that, theater was pretty limited back then, and often people would have to improvise by bringing random materials to make the noise they wanted. The 16th century brought some cool things to sound too. Music and sound effects were used to depict hell and the appearance of God in religious plays, using drums and stones with reverberant machinery, held over from the Greek theater. There's also these ugly things called bird whistles that used to make bird sound effects, but everything from there on was pretty boring. Aside from moving mostly indoors post the English Civil War, but after that was also pretty boring. The Industrial Revolution brought some new instruments and more improvements, but it can't compare to the 20th century. The 20th century is when the invention of electronic amplification systems and speakers happened, and they were actually kind of interesting. Actors wore microphones to amplify sounds, and the use of soundboards could be used to make sound effects happen whenever you wanted, with no effort. So, needless to say, without worrying about creating sound, people could focus on making better plays than they would perform earlier. The 21st century was by far the most technologically advancing time for theater, including the creation of the worst musical play to ever exist, Cats. Nonetheless, sound technology would go pretty cool around now, and we can automate an entire play's sound, meaning the people in the booth can enjoy TikToks instead of paying attention to the play in front of them. But in conclusion, I would say we've gotten pretty lazy with sound, even though it's a lot better. From the acoustics to the ancient Greek theater to modern technology, yes, I think we've had a pretty big impact on theater with the sound we use today in performances, and I would say it's changed for the better.